Hi, I'm Greg Elliott Thorne with Elliott Fishing Rods, where we build our rods based on scientific principles. Rods that go beyond expectation. Rods where you can really feel the difference and where you can catch a smile on every cast. Not just by the way they perform, but pride and ownership as well. Now, how do we go about doing that? Well, let us boil it down as simple as possible for you. There are some really simple primary factors in the equation of building a quality fishing rod. If one of those factors isn't a positive one, if it turns into a negative factor, it really affects the total outcome and full potential of the fishing rod. And those factors are simply the blank, the rod handle, the guides, and the overall physical weight and balance of the fishing rod. The rod blank, of course, is a key component. And I could go into all the minutiae and layer cakes about graphite materials and their modulus ratings or their tonnage ratings. We could talk about graphite pattern cuts. We could talk about scrim materials, nano resins, tapered mandrels, wall diameters, wall thicknesses, all these things that come together to make a blank. And that would be a fun seminar, but mostly for me. In Elliott rod blanks, to just kind of boil it down technically, we design our blanks utilizing various combinations of 30, 40, and 50-ton graphites with nano resins and graphite scrims. Now, using high-tech materials can make a great rod blank, but it doesn't end there. A great rod blank just doesn't turn into a great rod. All these other factors have to come into positive factors to create a really good fishing rod. Now next we'll talk about the handle. There are two basic primary functions that a rod handle has to perform. One is just simply a place to affix the reel, creating a comfortable grip in which to handle the rod. But there's a lot more to it than that. That can greatly affect the balance of the rod depending on where the reel seat is positioned with the reel. Now, this is a 7'3" spinning rod that weighs about 3.8 ounces. It's got just a little bit longer butt grip on it, probably an inch longer than what would be in the standard configurations of spinning rods out there in this length. But what it does is it totally changes the balance point, creating a perfect balance point. So when you hold the rod in this fashion, and you're doing your jigging motion or whatever you're doing, whatever kind of presentation you're fishing, all I'm feeling right here is air. I'm not feeling the blank, I'm not feeling the guides, just my lure. That's all I'd be feeling. So I'd be able to feel the contour of the lake bottom much better. I'd be able to pick up the bites of finicky fish. More bite, feeling better, more bites equals more fish equals more fun. So proper balance in a fishing rod is absolutely paramount in how it comes out to be a quality fishing rod. Now you can conduct a little experiment on your own by taking some of your own fishing rods or just grabbing a couple reels and going into a sporting goods store and test tip weight, test the balance. This is a 7-foot spinning rod, and as you can see, very tip heavy, very what I would call clunky. Now if you put the tip on a scale and measured the weight that's on the scale, it could be about 0.8 ounces. Now there's also another factor called torque force. Engineers call torque force, and when you lift the rod up, it creates torque. And depending on the length and the gravity effect of things, it can really multiply from 0.8 to over an ounce up to 2 ounces. So in theory, you might be thinking that you're just jigging a 1/4 ounce jig. But with all this added weight, you're actually jigging something that weighs about 2 1/4 ounces or even higher. So having a properly balanced rod, and that has a lot to do with the handle and how the handle is designed, dramatically affects what you feel. Another highly critical factor in the equation of building a great fishing rod is the choice of line guides. Basically, their functions are pretty simple. I mean, they handle and manage the line on the cast, they manage the line on the retrieve, they can reduce line wear and fatigue, and they also help distribute the stress on a rod blank under a heavy load. But what you don't hear people talking about is the physical weight. And again, the physical weight has a great deal to do with a properly balanced, highly sensitive fishing rod. And being that we're a small company, we're still agile and flexible and creative. We can take this particular rod blank and handle, this rod model, and offer it with 3 different styles of guides. We could offer the Sea Guide EUSD G-1, which is a stainless steel guide with a stainless steel insert, or we could offer the Sea Guide SCX ORSG, which has a higher grade stainless steel frame and a high quality nitrate ring, which is about 20% lighter than any other ring on the market. Or we could offer the TIX ORSG, which is the same internal ring but with a titanium frame. All 3 of those have different features and benefits and different cost factors, but they all weigh very similar in weight. I mean, they're very close, within a couple grams or less of each other. And we look forward to being able to offer that kind of option to your fishing rod choices. Now, taking the 3 basic factors that we just discussed, being the blank and the handle and the guides, if each one of those factors stays a positive factor, the total accumulation, the total sum, will be all positive, creating a great fishing rod, one that's very light in the hand, very sensitive, one that's going to help you detect more bites, catch more fish, have more fun. Now, on the other side of the coin, however, we're still going to build some rods they can't be the lightest weight possible. They can't be a finesse rod. Rods that are throwing lures that are over 1 pound and catching very heavy and very powerful fish, doing it day in and day out for maybe even a decade. We're going to build rods that are durable and strong. But whatever we build, we're going to build rods that go beyond expectation. We're going to build rods where you can really feel the difference. And we're going to offer rods that hopefully catch a smile on every cast. Not just in the way they perform, but also in pride and ownership. So we look forward to you having your first Elliott fishing rod, and we hope that you'll come back for many more.